Hey guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and Horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for you guys born in the year of the sheep, or the goat if you prefer. So welcome back. How are we doing? Let's find out as we now say goodbye to the year of the dragon and we enter the year of the snake. Happy New Year to everybody, or at least Happy Chinese New Year. It's official. We have now slithered our way into the year of the snake. So let's see what first reading of the year of the snake has in store for you. Also, I would like to say thank you to everybody that's left a comment over the last year. I did go through the videos a couple of days back and did catch up with a lot of the comments that were left, and I was quite surprised. So thank you everybody that has taken the time to leave a comment. And of course, make sure you've hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out in the future for your reading. Anyways, let's start about there, and we're going to take that one from the bottom, we're going to take that one from the middle, and we're going to take that one from the top. What have we got? Okay, so we've got a white and two blacks there. Going to start off in a positive, moving into the two negatives, and it can be a little bit uneasy looking at those two negatives, can't it? Because you can kind of predict that it's not going to necessarily end too well. However, black isn't always an attack and white isn't always all right. It all depends on the compatibility as we flip them over. And your first card there is the white ox. Now, the ox and the sheep, they are conflict cards. They do not go together at all. The fact it's white is probably the only thing that's in your favor right here, but there is some conflict. You're trying to ignore it. You may not want to think about it. You may have done very well to ignore it for this timing, or like for the time being, and you've done well to do that. But right now, it's blatant, and it's right in your face. Communication is key here, but I think communication is probably out the window. I think right now, your flaunting of the rules could be the potential downside karmically for yourself or those around you. And I say this in a very loose way because sheep aren't one for necessarily towing the line anyway. They're very whimsical and fun. And I think if you were that rigid and you were very sort of a stickler for the rules, things wouldn't have necessarily worked out the way that they're going to. But I think it's the flaunting of the rules that may be the problem, and potentially you could have stuck to the rules a little bit more, and potentially overlooked a situation rather than getting involved. I think as well, patience could have been a virtue. Patience could have been a virtue as we move forward into this. The fact that you're actually thinking straight, that's a good thing. The fact that you're mentally capable and you're actually considering things and you're actually thinking about things, that's good. That is good. However, just because you feel bad for flaunting the rules or breaking the rules doesn't change the fact that you broke the rules in the first place. Let's be fair. Let's be honest. Black dog coming into play there. Not a bad card for a sheep person, but it is in the negative. Communication again. Communication is definitely something that is suffering here. Black dog means a closed off mouth or tongue. You're biting your tongue. You're holding back. Maybe because you don't want to have an argument. Maybe because you want to stay out of conflict. I mean, the conflict's already there. But maybe it's because you're trying to justify things. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to explain yourself. You don't want to give off your side of the story, because when you do, it's almost like you're making yourself sound like more of a bad guy. Like you feel a bit silly. You feel a bit stupid. That's not to say you are stupid. It's just that's the way it makes you feel. Almost like a level of inadequacy that only you are able to perceive, because everybody else kind of appreciates your position. It's just you don't necessarily feel it's the position for you. You might feel like you deserve more or you deserve better. And you know, who's to say that you don't? You might just deserve better. You might just, be entitled for that. But then you have to remind yourself, is it just an egotistical entitlement that gives you that impression that you should indulge in such things and that you should have more? Or is it actually something that is deserved? And then again, like I say, I'm not here to say that you don't deserve it. It's just you need to know if you deserve it or not, because if you don't deserve it and you take it, again, there's going to be that karmic justice. And you don't need that karmic justice. You don't need that weight. You don't need it stalking you. You don't need it looming over your shoulder. You don't need it behind the, closet door waiting for you to jump out and put you back in your place. And that's not to say your intention is to go out there and, cause disruption. Like I say, you're trying to avoid conflict. It's just conflict is there now. Conflict is there. So it's not necessarily about thinking about things anymore. It's now just trying to work on the lines of communication so you can actually voice things without annoying people or upsetting people. Potentially your bark is worse than your bite. And people aren't necessarily sure what to do now that you've started to express yourself openly. It's another blocked communicating card. The horse. Not a bad card for a sheep, that's actually your soul line card. So horses and sheep are on the same soul line, which means this is all meant to happen this is meant to happen for you. It's supposed to happen with you, to guide you, to help you grow, to help you progress, to evolve into the next chapter. But it's not going to feel like that. It's going to feel like you're going nowhere. It's going to feel like you're stagnant. It's going to make you feel as if you, again, like I say, are potentially missing out on something, or you deserve better. It could be a case of a romantic endeavour. That horse is an emotional one. It can represent matters of the heart, relationships, love. Maybe there's communication problems in the sort of marriage or relationship areas of your life. Like I say, the horse and the sheep do go together quite well. So it is a good example of black not being an attack. But what we are seeing is maybe a bit of a slow wit, a bit of a kind of dulled senses, where you've turned off this, I don't want to say empathy, but it's almost like that. You've closed off being able to feel what is happening around you for self-preservation reasons, and that's just closed you down more, which has then created you to think things through more thoroughly, which could be, a good thing. But the more you think, the less you're communicating, and the less you're communicating, the less you're opening up your feelings, and that way you're not empathizing as you usually would. And if you're not doing that with a partner or a loved one or someone you care about or someone that you're emotionally involved with, it is going to start to have intimacy problems. You are going to start to have hiccups in that relationship. We've got 3 cards there that are all representing a lack of communication or something regarding to blocked communication. The only saving grace you've got there is your own conflict card, which is at least saying you're thinking things through at least. The horse isn't going anywhere though, we're stagnant. And maybe that's why you're getting a bit defensive. That's potentially why you're starting to bark. And as I said before, your bark is worse than your bite. I think people are starting to take a notice of it. So potentially you could end up causing a scene, bringing over a crowd, and someone in that crowd could end up helping you out of this slump. That's the best you can hope for. Or you're going to get into more and more conflict and you'll spiral until that resolution is found. But we'll find out, won't we, next week when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the sheep, or the goat if you prefer. I will be back next with a reading for those born in the year of the monkey. So if you are interested in that, then I will see you then. If not, I will just see you next week when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the sheep. However, if you would like a more personalized reading and you would like a larger spread, which is more in depth and a little bit more personal, you can find the Patreon below for the YouTube, for the Patreon for your own personalized videos, not from on YouTube or not on YouTube, but more just personalized for you once a month through Patreon, and that will be a 9-card spread. So if you are interested in that, then check that out. If not, no worries. I'll just see you next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Love and peace.